What is going on, Alithio Media? It is me, Brendan Tegethoff. I'm back with the third episode, third installment of the interview series, and I have some bad news. I'm being shipped off to the military, unfortunately. I just had to make that joke.
I was gonna say, I'm
Haircut.
glad you did it.
Yeah, no. Only the video people will see that, but probably very noticeable. And we have none other than the gassiest fellow, Raven Gasser, in the building. Say what's up.
Hello. I'm usually where you're sitting.
I know. It's crazy. This is the first time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Raven has been on the casting couch.
This is my first time on the recording couch, and I think I did one sit down with someone in that room, but I think that's it. I think it was just like me, Keeney, and Tassos were just goofing off or something.
All right.
But yeah, first time over here. It's nice. I have lumbar support, which is great.
Gotta imagine it's pretty chill over there. You know, not having the obligation to the ones and the twos.
Oh, it's a little stress free, but it's definitely like, what am I doing now? It's like I'm so used to doing what you're doing, pushing, switching between the cameras, making sure audios are good, that now I'm just sitting here. I'm like, this is what it feels like.
All right. And since we're on the topic of firsts, this is also the first of the interviews that my guest here does not have the questions in front of him. So we're going to be fully raw dogging. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to start with like the same question I asked Oliver, just because I really like starting it off like this. How did me and you meet?
How did me and you meet?
Yeah.
So it was before you started working at Home Slice, because I met one of our buddies, Jonah, through there. And that's how I got introduced to the friend group that we met through. A lot of Sully, Tassos was part of that group too. So, we got a lot of mutuals. And then I feel like from there, I learned that you were a post guy too. And we kind of hit it off on that aspect. Then technically I referred you for your job.
Yeah, no, that's a funny story. I was trying to egg you on to get into that. I think me and Oliver might have touched on it.
I think we did.
But our work, or, my past job, I got it through our friend Jonah, who, like Raven just said, is a mutual of ours. And technically Raven was my reference, even though at this point me and Raven barely knew each other.
So we didn't talk that much, but we knew of each other.
Yeah, but Jonah had just gotten our friend Zach in with his referral. And so Raven needed the incentive money.
I needed the monies.
Yeah, because they give us money if we refer people. So
they're there for 90 days or something. Yeah,
exactly. So I was like, yeah, I'll give Raven the referral, because I'm just such a chill guy. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. I'm saying it like I did. But moreover, because this is I could make this into a two-parter. How did you and Oliver meet?
Same way. So, oh my God, Oliver didn't tell the story fully on, my side of things. So I'll tell that, but it's a funny story. But so I started working there at Home Slice at July of 2021. And I was there until June of last year. And, worked myself up the ranks. They never made me a server, no hard feelings about it. I understand it's part of the industry. And so I started working there for about 3 or 4 months. Oliver worked there before me, but he moved home for COVID and then came back to the city and picked up working there again.
Oh, okay.
So when I first met Oliver, I actually didn't like Oliver a lot.
Wait, that's crazy. So, Oliver's such a likable guy.
So hold on. I have to tell the whole story, but there's 2 things about it. One, the people that you immediately don't like and then end up liking are probably your closest friends. 2, it was exactly that, because my thing was I was like, who's this hotshot coming in here acting like he knows everyone? Who is this fool? And then we started talking. I was like, oh, we have a lot of the same interests. We have kind of similar lives to some degree. And then we just started playing video games together. So I met a lot of his buddies. He met a lot of my buddies I played games with. And we just got really, really close, dude. We would play, 2-3 times a week, playing Siege or literally whatever. We played The Forest, Sons of the Forest.
Oh, dude.
So we've done a lot of games together and just spent a lot of time shooting it. And I don't know. Love the guy.
Back when I was like first there, I actually had Oliver discuss the forest with me and like Jill. I like distinctly remember
that was our playthrough.
Yeah,
that was one of our.
I tried to play it myself, and I just like
it's a hard game.
It's hard if you're like on your own.
It is, but you also have to have like people who know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, and, exactly.
Like, him and one of my other buddies did, and then me and another guy didn't. So we picked up pretty quickly, and it was a fun game.
Yeah, no, I had a couple friends who had to like pick me up also. Like we just had like one of our friends, and like there was like me and two of our friends, like our other mutuals that were like unknowing of the game and just like being complete idiots. So it took us a while to like finally beat the game, but
once you do, it's so fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I remember the like boss fight with like the dude with 8 arms or limbs or whatever the hell it was.
Oh,
that like completely bare space with like the glass.
The hole.
No, it's like the glass.
You're talking about the final boss fight. Yeah. The final boss fight in that game is not easy. And if you're underprepared, it's not going to be a fun fight. But
my hair is about to fall out. Like everyone was fucking dying over and over again. And like we were just like going at it.
It's a hard one.
We did first take it though. So I don't know what the fuck would happen if we died.
It just restarts.
Oh, okay.
It goes back to the last checkpoint. Like most games.
We were fucking shitting ourselves because we thought it was going to be like something way worse than that if we weren't able to complete it. But yeah. Next, we got what has been your experience being a new DePaul alumni? Because I wanted to bring up the fact that I don't know if it has been since the last recording, but yeah, no. Technically, since the last recording, me and Raven have graduated college.
So, because last week we took off for that reason.
Yeah, no. I recorded this show on a Thursday, and we graduated that Saturday.
Yes.
Today is Sunday. We're recording on the day of. This will go up bearing no technical issues.
You will see On the Gravel tomorrow. Monday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and On the Gravel coming out as well. So we got 2 shows pumping out right now. Raven's fucking being worked like a dog in here.
Yes, sir.
He's getting fucking murdered. But yeah, what has it been like being a new alum, a new grad?
I don't feel like it's fully hit in yet. I still am taking technically one class, an internship class, but that's neither here nor there. And essentially, I don't know. I was talking to some coworkers about it, and they said the one thing that they warned me about was that you're gonna have the nightmares about like having something due in the morning for years. And I'm like, I don't want to live with that kind of PTSD, man. Like that's a lot to do. And like I was a very like applicable student. I tried to do my best in my classes and really get my money's worth. And I don't know. At the end of the day, I really like learning to some degree. So I would always just pay attention to my classes, try to get as close as with my teacher as I can. And like, I didn't want to be the teacher's pet, but I would do my own thing, answer questions, and be a part of the bigger conversation in the class. But
yeah, no, I'm going to sound like a loser for saying this, but like, I don't know. I was pretty messed up after like graduation just happened because like me, I'm kind of just like a super routine kind of person where I just have a routine set and like things to do each day.
I'm kind of like that though. And I mean, you have not like, you don't have a job anymore, which I mean, we have this, but that's part of a job, but you don't have like a restaurant gig anymore. And for me, that is my schedule and my stability because I know what time I need to do that stuff. And so I can work everything else I need to do in my life around that.
Yeah, no, that I kind of did forget about that capacity because like I had to leave my service industry. Sorry, voice crack. But I had to leave my service industry gig because I'm moving back in with my parents. I'm not going to be in the city anymore. So I have to like, you know,
the burbs.
Yeah, I need to remaneuver and hopefully get another gig back there. But being as of right now, it's like I went from like service industry job and in school, in college to just like nothing. And it's like, I don't know what to do with myself. It's like a lot of my routine is way more up in the air and like way more on me because I'm like actively looking for jobs, doing all that
fun
horrible
stuff.
Fun
stuff.
Yeah, super fun, but you know, it's been like a huge transition. That's why I kind of wanted to bring it up, because it's like, I don't know, it's been like really hard transition on me. So I was wondering your experience.
I mean, I was like emotional about the fact of, you know, I'm not like, obviously I'm not going to see these people probably for the rest of my life. Or for me, I guess it was like just the connection I made with the teachers in 3 years. Cause we have to remember, like, we graduated high school in COVID, and for me, that was my first graduation walk. I didn't get to walk the stage for high school. So that was a really, really big moment for me. And I know you felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like the connection with my teachers, I would say, is the biggest thing. Like, my mom even asked me, where she was like, oh, do you think you will connect with any of your teachers in a few years? And I was like, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of 3 or 4 right off the top of my head who it's like, I will forever try to keep in touch with them and, you know, ask for their advice. And I don't know, maybe if I pursue wanting to teach one day, because I like learning, I feel like I could actually, I don't know, feel like a college teacher too is way better gig than a high school teacher. Sorry, high school teachers, but
yeah, no, I had the same impression too. Like, all my professors seem like,
especially the film professors at DePaul, like, I will say 9.5 out of 10 are chill, down to earth people that really, really know what they're talking about, and having them as a like resource is huge. I'm gonna shout out Bob, you know, our color correction teacher. Dude, he absolutely made me love color correcting, and it's something that I'm doing right now.
I did not have Bob's name on this sheet right in front of me.
Bob is a legend, bro, and he was just so knowledgeable and really, really trustworthy, and just knew what he was talking about. And yeah, I will forever try to go to him for advice for as long as I can, because, you know, that man's old and that man has accomplished a lot in his life, and he is a great resource to have.
Yeah. So, I mean, going a little bit more off of that, how did you get into editing from the very jump?
So I originally went to school for just a basic bachelor's in arts for film and television production.
Okay.
But I was always fascinated with editing. My thing was, from a young age, I've always loved movies and like TV shows, and like different, like the rise of YouTube was during our youth. And
it really
so watching a lot of edits and different videos and stuff like that was probably super influential, and I don't even know it. But I don't know, I just thought of it as like a puzzle almost, where I like the idea of being given stuff and putting a story together and making it the way you can. And that's the beauty of editing, is you are trying to make it as hidden as possible, but as effective as possible. And because you can always see a cut that stands out, that doesn't work, and trying to fix those issues. And, you know, there's been hours dedicated to a 3-second cut where it's like, it just doesn't work right. And, you know, it's tedious, and God, it's not, you know, like we said, mining jobs or anything like that, where it's super, super tenuous on your body, but it's a job that's a lot of creativity aspects to it too. And I was always a creative person. I've played 3 instruments throughout my life, and I loved art as a kid, but I was never really great at drawing or painting and like that creative sphere. And so when I learned that you could be a creative person in film, and especially the fact of like being able to work by myself at my computer, something I'm really, really comfortable with and knew a lot about already, it just seemed like a perfect match made in heaven. And then in high school, I joined the AV club and became one of the head editors my senior year. And so it was really, really fun. And I just was like, okay, this seems feasible and something I could do. So
yeah, YouTube was huge for me also. Like, I mean, this is like one of the only things in my life that I could really honestly say, like, yeah, I was on it from the jump. Like, I was in my basement when I was like 5 recording like stop motions.
Dude, I remember when YouTube was on your iPhone.
What do you mean?
Like when the app like you didn't have to download a YouTube app. Originally on like the first 4 iPhones, there was just an old TV
And
screen
that old
and it
TV.
was YouTube.
Yeah.
And so I would just watch YouTube on my old iPhone 4S.
Yeah, no. That's like how I mainly got into it. But another thing that like made me actually like want to pursue it is like a profession was like FaZe Clan.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the FaZe 1 Miltage?
Yeah, dude, I've watched all of them.
Dude.
We grew up in the same time frame. Of course, I think if you went to any 22-year-old in 10-mile radius and said, "Hey, do you know the FaZe Clan montages?" They will be like, "Oh yeah, which one?"
Yeah, that shit was just so immensely dope that I just like was like, dude, I want to do that.
I mean, I got into trick shotting for a little bit because of it.
No.
I never posted anything, but I learned how to like trick shot, and I could do some basic ones. But
nah, I was good.
I was not good.
This is like I didn't know I was gonna be dropping this to the outside
To the
world.
knowledge, yes, you are.
But I was definitely a trick shot. I like had an alias. I was Link's Guilt. Yeah, I had like
That's
I was in
great.
a clan. I was everything.
Oh, that's great.
And I don't know. I even got shot of the week for them. Like 1 week. It's like I hit a shot on Modern Warfare Remastered. So this is even like that like
Not long ago.
that old. It's
Yeah.
like MWR was like 2016, 17 ish. So I
Those
was
newer, older COD, anything after World War II kind of lost me.
yeah no I was running it in like freshman sophomore year of high school, and it probably was like 7th grade to like freshman sophomore year was like my peak where I was like going ham on trick shotting. But dude, I remember I like some of my best friends, like even my roommate right now used to set up for me in like in private matches. He's a real one for that. Shout out Mike if he's
Can't
watching
believe you
this.
ever would confirm that you set up your trick shots.
No, dude, that's like those real life, like those ones in the middle of lobbies are so much harder than people give credit for. It's like
Yeah, that's why it's impressive to a degree.
I don't have friends like that. I don't have like friends to make a 6-man all the time.
No, that's fair.
Like it's about like having like a 6-man. I do like the free for all trick shotting, but like
You just have to get in the right lobbies for that.
yeah, even with like free for all, people will still like be setting up and like you'll just hit shots on other trick shotters. All right. What
So we can dial this back in.
yeah, no, I was going way too ham
It's
on
all
trick
good.
shotting. I was not expecting that.
It's all
but
good. We'll dial it back in.
yeah, no, I think another question that needs to be asked to you, and I guess like people ask me a lot of the time, what's it like being a film major? Like what kind of looks you get? What kind of connotations you get?
I mean, so I always preface it. I mean, you see a bug on your mic. Is it a spider?
That is a spider. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just saying there's a bunch of spider webs, but
I don't know if this dude just showed up on camera. Hold up.
he's probably there. I saw him for a sec. But to answer your question, the looks, I mean, we're a film school, Heart and Heart. That just like went on your back or something.
No.
We're a film school, Heart and Heart, and so I mean, top 10 in the nation. I hate saying that, but
Yeah.
we are, and it's something to be proud of. But yeah, obviously we don't get the best look on campus. I think a majority of the film students that I have met kind of do fit that bro
Film school
Vilner
archetype.
versus just like the typical film
Do
school.
we have a name in mind?
I mean,
I have a name that I'm trying to like get. I can't say it. I can't say
there's
it.
one kid in my class. I feel like it might be him, but
Our class, one of our classes.
oh yeah,
that's
dude. Funny story. My grad pictures think I'm him. So
No way.
two of the pictures that they like sent me for the test were him,
oh my.
and I was like, that is hilarious.
That would
dude.
be if it was me. That would be like such a sock in the
Dude,
gut.
it was funny, but yeah, I mean,
that sounds like such a shit talk. I'm
don't
just
know.
saying he's just like very,
yeah, I know what you
very
mean.
film kid esque.
But there's nuances to it. It's kind of how you present yourself and how you treat yourself to others, especially when you're giving feedback to people, because that's a huge thing that we had to learn in school, and it's kind of an underrated thing that we had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And because quite literally we are going to have to give feedback almost all the time to other people about our own work, about other people's work, to other editors, and it's just kind of how the job comes. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point with how many times I say this, but film kids, they know the deadlines. I'm telling you guys.
so like I'll say this, the real film students that I know and that I know are like really going to make it somewhere are the ones that have an open mind and I won't say think, that know that they don't know everything and have room to learn. Because it's the people that you work with that are like, oh, I know what we're doing, I know how to do this. It ends up not working. And then you're scratching and clawing at each other to end up making a project or a shot or something work. I never really had many of those experiences. I also didn't work on a lot of outside of class projects until, the last 2 years of college. And but dude, like even now I'm getting projects and I'm like, yo, this is rough.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of how it is. Because
they give some leverage to people in the film industry though, because we all like work with like the same programs. So people like, one thing that people should know is like, if you're like
if you're wanting to get into film, go to Avid. Don't go to Premiere. Go to Avid.
Dude, that was one of my lightning round questions too. So we're gonna
so we can still answer that because that's not my preferred editing software. But
we'll do a teaser.
If you want to be an editor, learn Avid, hands down.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Raven, Adobe or Avid?
Neither. DaVinci.
DaVinci?
I'm telling, and I'll explain why. Because of all the new upgraded like Adobe Firefly stuff that's coming to Premiere. They have also said that anything that you create in Premiere Pro, fact check me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe that they are going to claim that the idea and the overall creation of the thing that you have created is theirs, not yours. So if they like the ideas in a project you create in Adobe Premiere, they can sell that off to bigger markets and bigger distributors. But they also will make any of that stuff used in their AI research.
Oh.
So
DaVinci is just more of a localized domain at this point?
So I'm learning, like I'm doing a project right now and I was talking to my director and I was like, I love Premiere, man. I've been working on it for almost a third of my life. But I have to learn these other softwares just because of all this industry stuff, and it's expensive, man.
Do you know which one that I native?
Final Cut? Yeah. Most people, dude. Oliver uses Final Cut.
Well, Oliver's he's not an editor.
He does his own YouTube videos on the side.
Yeah, no. Final Cut's a pretty efficient one for like YouTube and stuff like that.
For pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
If you're making anything that's like just like a short, very basic, nothing out of the extraordinary with like effects and anything, Final Cut's a good one.
Yeah, where it lacks is really with like its organization facets. So it's like it's way easier to organize like a large scale project on like Premiere.
Yes.
Whereas I like just find myself doing it like on my desktop if I'm running Final Cut Pro, which is why I usually just use
think is what they want you to do. Because I've never used Final Cut.
Yeah. It's just not efficient to do it like on the app or whatever you want to call it. It's just not. So I just will do it on my desktop and figure it out like that.
What else we got?
We'll go next question. We got why podcasting? Why?
So I grew up listening to talk radio.
Okay.
I grew up almost every single day growing up in elementary school in rural Milwaukee. It was Mike and Mike in the morning. If it was me and my stepdad, and if it was me and my mom, it would be like whatever Good Morning America or whatever talk shows on at 7 a.m. But dude, watching Mike and Mike in the morning and just seeing just them talk and give their opinions, and it's like they weren't always right. And even I would talk to my stepdad and be like, I disagree with that. I ended up really kind of following the footsteps and falling in love with, sports, and when I was a little bit older, I discovered from my stepdad what Dan Le Batard is and who he is, and just really fell in love with their show. And then, you know, they got kicked off ESPN, had to go fully on podcasting. And when I was doing, you know, when I was working in a kitchen and doing dishwashers and delivery work, it was podcasts or music. And, you know, I love music, don't get me wrong, but listening to music all the time, I don't actually think is a great thing for you. But just getting someone's opinions, listening to someone talk, or especially if you find a topic that you really, really care about and you know a decent amount, hearing those people talk and get their opinions and interviewing people, it's just a fascinating way to learn some nuances about whatever topic you want.
Yeah, no, that's interesting you say that, because I have like the opposite experience, or like you had like kind of a meant to be experience getting into podcasting. I was kind of like I was always like super music kind of guy, you know, like that's what I listen to in my spare time.
I love music, dude. I listen to music a lot, but I mean, something about me, I've stopped listening to music on the train. Like I'm just trying, like when I'm walking around the city and stuff, I try not to wear headphones.
Oh, okay.
Because personally, I just think it helps with my anxiety, because like I'm more aware of my surroundings to some degree.
Oh, no, I hear that, actually. I mean, like, I had that because I had a moment with if we're going to talk anxiety. Like,
oh, brother, I could talk 4 hours about anxiety and all that, but I
had a funny-ass moment because, like, okay, wait, no, this is not funny. I just, somebody died on the train tracks. I don't know why the fuck I thought that this was going to be funny, but it was funny in the sense that I sat on the train for an hour and a half while I was trying to go to my last ever class in college, and I was like just sitting on the train. So it's like, I said it was funny because it's like such a stereotypical, like, this is anxiety provoking ass situation, because I'm just like in a dead train car. So like, to help me out, I just like, I have noise canceling headphones. I like, most of the times I didn't even want the music on. It didn't make me feel better. I just like
being in your own world.
Yeah,
I feel like you can still do that with your face. Like,
yeah,
like I'll talk to people on the street. I'll say hi to people. I'll say, hey, I like your shirt. Hey, I like your hat. Like stuff like that. Just because like something about our generation that I fear for is the ability to talk to one another.
Yeah, I had this conversation with my parents too.
I just thought of this the other day, because it's like, bro, everyone's on their phones, and yeah, I'm on my phone 4 or 5 hours a day according to my screen time. I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud of it, but it's just how today's society is. And, you know, especially for what I do behind the mic over there, it's like I need to keep up to date with any events happening in the F1 sphere. And
yeah, no,
I've told so many of my friends if I could delete Instagram, and I would do it in a heartbeat, but I just have to use it for what I do. And
yeah, dude, I tried for a little bit. I deleted Instagram and Snapchat. I like, ever since I deleted it, I really haven't been using it that much.
I just use it for a few people. That's about it.
Yeah, so Snapchat, actually, there was some productivity in doing that, but Instagram is like, dude, there's too much networking that you could do as like as a creative like me.
and it's
so I could say that.
No, I hate saying it, but like it really is a huge networking tool. And like even from school, dude, like the amount of people that I know who like I will jump over lakes for these people, dude, because I know A, how talented they are, B, how trustworthy they are, and C, like I can always ask for their honest opinion and they will give it to me straight, and that is what I always want.
Yeah, that's the thing with like all these facets of social media, where it's like you don't know what you're going to be seeing half the time. Like a lot of the time you do see stuff like, oh, my good bro is
looking
like,
for
is
an
winning.
editor, looking for a DIT.
Yeah, and then on
shout
the
out my homies. Look at these guys. Congrats.
And then right under it will be big booba thread. Everyone add or some shit like Sophia Rain did what? It's just absolute brain rot.
So that's why I've tried to stop following like meme pages, especially just because, dude, it's so bad and I hate it.
They sell out.
They all do, and it's like I genuinely just get my memes from the Reels algorithm now, or from stuff that people send me, because I just don't care enough anymore. And I understand that we are getting to unk status officially, according to the younger generation. But
Unk.
I don't know, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that kind of ties back into like what I was trying to say earlier. Like when my parents were, me and my parents were talking about this, like they would like, my dad gave me like sprung me the concept of talking to some random person on the train. I was like, dude, nobody, well, I didn't call my dad dude, but nobody does that. And it's just such a wild thing to think about, that like people would just talk to each other on the train stops, because
People
like
would talk.
now we can't do that, because it's like if you're on your phone,
People
or
were
you have
kinder then
headphones in,
too. People were way kinder then too.
yeah, it's like it's such a weird thing to live with nowadays. Is like people just live super different, because it's like with viral videos and social media, everything. It's like you don't want to become like a viral meme, or like have somebody record you, or like kids live with that cooked ass perception. Like kids our age, like my parents don't give a flying fuck about any of that, but it's just something
about like viral stuff.
Yeah, about like people like pulling out a phone and like recording them in public, and like just
Yeah,
making
like
a
doing
display of them.
doing stupid stuff. Like I understand that, but like I don't know, man. We are like the last 2 or 3 years of a generation that can say that they remember growing up without an iPhone.
Yeah.
Which is wild to say, dude. I remember when Windows 4 or 5 was still out.
Yeah.
Like I remember the birth of Windows 7, bro. I remember getting a laptop and opening it up and seeing Windows 7 and being like, this is the future.
Dude, you're not helping our unk status.
Sorry. I hit the remote.
Oh, yeah, no, I was wondering what happened there. But we could use that as a transition. How'd you get into F1?
So I've heard of the sport when I was younger, and I had a huge Hot Wheels collection when I was a kid. So I've always,
what the fuck?
I've always
We're finding out me and Raven have way too many links.
Yeah, well, it's like dinosaurs or cars, bro.
All right, yeah, well, everyone had that, I guess.
So for me, it was like I had always loved cars. I've always appreciated cars. In high school, I lived in Atlanta, and the car scene there was kind of booming right around that period. So I saw a lot of my friends get into cars, and
yeah, we actually had like car shows here in like Chicago that I'd go to.
Yeah, I mean, it was a popular thing. It's just now the crackdowns on them are way, way worse. But so I have a lot of buddies that have, custom cars that they've been modding and working on and upgrading and just pushing to the limits to some degree, or even just working on older cars and making them their dailies. But I had always been like, damn, if I had the money, I would love to get just not like a super nice car, but a car that I find attractive and just amazing to drive. And yeah. But
oh yeah, I've always kind of had that perception that I was going to turn out to be like one of the people who has like an apartment and then like an Audi R8 outside of it. Or like that one meme where it's like that rundown shack and it's just got like a Lamborghini parked in it.
Yeah. But to continue off of it, I never really got into F1 just by myself, because like a lot of things in life, it's scary to do something new, and especially watching a new sport that you don't understand, because you feel stupid watching it. I understand that feeling of just being like, what's happening? Why did that happen? And so I guess that was always like something that kind of held me off from watching it. And then, I met Oliver and knew he was super big into it. We were hanging out after work one day, and he was like, come over, spend the night with me. The race is at midnight. It's the perfect time to watch it. And it was Australia 2022.
Yeah, no,
2023. And it was the most exciting race I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I think you should have known. If you watched any of the one I did with Oliver, you probably should have expected that I would spring that one on you, because I learned that day that he showed you F1.
In the sense of like he got me into it and taught me the basics of the sport. I'd always like known who like Lewis Hamilton is and Kimi Räikkönen and Michael Schumacher and like the Ferrari and the teams and the sponsors. Like I'd seen stuff about it, but I had never really understood the nuances and the beauty of the sport, especially in just driving those cars in general.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do you keep up with any other sports?
Yes, I grew up.
I it's an obvious question to me, but
Yeah, but I grew up playing baseball for 12 or 13 years, and that will always be my first love of sport. It's the beautiful game, in my opinion.
America's pastime.
Yes, sir. And I don't know, growing up going to Milwaukee, like the Brewers games, the Packers games, the Bucks games, and you know, I just fell in love with it. I will say though, like it took me the longest to fall in love with football. I played it when I was like 6 and 7, but like going on after that, I picked other sports. I picked basketball and baseball.
Okay.
And so I just cared more about those, especially since the Brewers I loved so much. The Bucks, they were so bad at that period of time, but they were on the come up, I'll say. And the Packers were really, really good.
Yeah, they brought home a Super Bowl in like 2010.
Yeah, that was my thing too, is I've been spoiled my entire life on the football front, so I don't feel like that's why I appreciate it. Whereas like you are a Bears fan who has suffered through. Oh, you're not a Bears fan.
I'm not.
Oh, you're a Ravens fan. You're a Ravens fan.
Name.
I'm so sorry about that. I know that. I know you wear Ravens jerseys all the time. But
yeah, no, I can't help but think that like it was my impressionableness as a kid coming into play. Because I just like I didn't become a Bears fan, even though my dad was a Bears fan. I just like I want to believe that I just like became a fan of the Ravens via like fantasy, and that's why I was watching.
Here's
them.
what I believe. Okay, I believe that the Packers just dominated you for 8 years, and then you were like, I need something else, and went to the
trying to make me a Bears fan. I'm not a Bears fan. I just like what I was trying to say is like I feel like I hate to admit it, but I feel like I intrinsically didn't want to be a Bears fan to begin with.
That's fine. Like,
and that's why I went searching.
I know so many people that do that.
It's like
to some degree, it's also like a personal connection that you have to the team, and for me, that's through my family. And you know, I like when I moved to Atlanta, a lot of my family was like, "Oh, are you a Falcons, Hawks, and Braves fan now?" And I was like, "Hell no."
Nah.
Like, why?
Yeah, no. Falcons would have been funny. That would have been a detrimental 2016 for you.
Yeah. Hey, man, I was still a detrimental 2016 as I watched the Packers lose to the Falcons at the very last game at the Superdome.
Oh, man. Were they like the only thing standing between them and the Super Bowl?
I believe it was for the NFC North, yeah, or NFC title, yeah.
Oh, man.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember much about that year other than the 28-3. Yeah, the Ravens weren't very good that year anyway.
But yeah, so that's my sports take. I guess skateboarding too, but okay. Other than that, I guess it would just be some like other racing discretions like WEC and rally car and MotoGP, but
yeah, no, it's really hard for me to keep up with like
there's
pro
so
sports
many.
Sometimes.
There's so many, dude.
It's like also in my defense, this year I've been making more of an effort than probably ever to get into new sports, and it's been a really bad year for sports. It'll actually, like, hold the phone. Hockey's been doing well.
Hockey's been very well, and we said this on Good Morning Hockey, where I was like, the Stanley Cup finals have kind of been mid so far, and I really hope that it doesn't turn into what the NBA finals were. And oh boy, was I wrong. Yeah, and it has turned into one of the best series of the year so far. So
yeah, I was really unhappy with like the NBA finals, the college basketball finals. There was I don't know.
College football was meh.
Yeah, college football was also like NFL football was mid. I mean, nobody wanted to see the Chiefs win.
No one wants to see the Chiefs win, man.
The only good game was like, or I'm talking playoffs, was Lions versus Niners.
Yes.
And I wanted the Lions to win, so I didn't even get a good outcome.
Especially after the Niners beat the Packers again.
Yeah. Sorry.
Story of my life, bro.
Yeah, good thing I had the camera on him for that one. But yeah, no, I had kind of like a side question. How do you feel about the NHL?
So growing up in Milwaukee, we didn't have an NHL team. And I'd always been fascinated with hockey. One of my really, really good childhood friends, Tyler, plays hockey. He was like my hockey connection, I would say, and like kind of taught me a lot about the sport when I was younger. And I never knew how to ice skate. I was terrible at it. I hate rollerblading, so I've never really wanted to play hockey per se because I just don't like that method of transportation. But I've always found it interesting. And doing, being behind the show for what, going on 8 months now?
Yeah, something like that.
7-8 months, I think, has taught me a lot about the sport. And, I pick up and we'll watch some. I watched Game 6 of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
Dude, it's exciting. I don't fully understand everything, and I do have to ask a lot of questions to Sully and Tassos.
Yeah.
But
I just thought it would be funny to bring up, given that, like,
that we do a production for a hockey show.
For the people that are here from, like, Good Morning Hockey, because I got to assume that's, like, at least
imagine
a
few
bulk,
people will.
A good
especially,
bulk of, like, the viewership.
Especially as, like, we are the two producers for that show. So.
Yeah, I just thought it would be funny to reference the fact that me and Raven are really not knowledgeable at all of hockey.
So Tassos, when he went to Toronto last week, he was like, "Can you do the show for me 2 days?" And I was like,
definitely not,
brother. If I see a Russian name and butcher it for your audience, we are losing all the audience. Like, I don't trust myself. And he's like, that's a very fair statement.
Absolutely not, dude. If he asked me to do that, I would not be able to come through. I could tell you that right now. So now we're going to get into the lightning round. Everyone's favorite part.
Is it going to be a lightning round? Can we make it a real lightning round?
Yeah, no, we can make it fast.
Then if you have any questions that come up from this, we can go as like a caveat at the little end.
Yeah, we could save like the whole question, like whole extended answer part to the end. Who you got, Oilers or Panthers?
I got the Panthers.
Okay. I kind of like... Oh, wait, no. I was about to fucking start talking already. All right, basketball or football?
Basketball.
Okay. All right, I already asked you Adobe or Avid.
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Favorite movie?
Ooh. Baby Driver.
Oh, okay.
So I know problematic actor in it, but beautiful film. It's cut amazingly. It's one of my favorite edited movies of all time. The car is amazing. I thought it was a really good movie, and there's a lot of other movies that are very influential in my life, but that is like one movie I will always go back to and pick up something new on.
Yeah, no. I probably have to go like either... My answer has actually gotten really interesting. It's like I either pick like one of the three. It's either Sinister, because I really love horror movies. Get Out, just like psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Or honestly, throw like Saving Private Ryan on there, just because I've been appreciative of the sound background, sound kind of aspect.
Say it's like my favorite like experimental like out there film, La Jetée, 1964 French film.
No way.
It is beautiful, brother.
That is film school baller status right there. Absolute flex.
Gotta drop it on them.
All right. Last one. We got Georgia or Illinois.
Just overall?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God, man, that's a tough one. The weather there is so much nicer. I love being in the woods and being close to.
We got some woodlands out in Georgia. I didn't
they
even
do.
know that.
They do have a lot of woods. I grew up being outside and knowing all those guys. A lot of them don't live there anymore, but
we're talking about the state. Just
yeah,
for
I know. But I'm just like going through all the reasonings.
I'm just telling the audience. I know you know.
For me, I would have to say I just like the Midwest more personally. I grew up here. I went to Atlanta for 5 years, and it's why I came back to the Midwest for school.
Yeah, no, I was expecting the opposite answer, to be honest with you.
I appreciate Atlanta a lot and everything that it gave me and everything that it taught me, especially about myself and life. But I will say I just love the Midwest, man. It's so nice.
So you wanna touch back on basketball or football? Because I'm football for sure.
Yeah, I know you're football for sure. Basketball for me, it's just I played it longer. I played it more. I enjoy it as a sport, and just like as someone who doesn't like working out, and you're the opposite of this statement exactly. In case can't look at his burly arms, but basketball is one of my favorite ways to work out. I think it's one of the best just all around workouts that you can get.
It's true. Raven is pretty cold, I have to say. I've seen it in action. But now we got the final question, which is, I'm sure Tasso's probably warned you that I was going to ask this one. What should my show be?
This is not what I was expecting for this question.
Good.
Anything you want it to be and what you believe it will be good. I kind of had the idea for, Oliver explained it last week, but I had the idea to do the F1 show with Oliver because it just worked out really well. It was something I was learning a lot about, and I could do a podcast about baseball, I could do a podcast about basketball, but there's people that know more about that than me.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't always necessarily have to be like that. Like I'm not like the master of powerlifting.
Genuinely, just make it about like health and wellness.
Yeah, no, I like that outcome as well because I'm not like super like anal about powerlifting or whatever. And I've been a powerlifter for like the past, oh my God, another voice crack. Brother. But I've been a powerlifter for the past year, and that's like the basis of my training. But there's like a lot of other stuff that I like to get into, and I could, because I feel like a lot of the viewership is actually just a culmination of people who are like these experts and the people that are like kind of more similar to my skill level who are like looking to like get it in to like become more knowledgeable. So it's like become more knowledgeable with me while I get like guests on the show.
That is 100% what you should go for.
Yeah, no.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a great idea.
Because I was, my next objective is probably like re-up on the powerlifting show, make it not like powerlifting
centric.
Yeah, like not restricted to it, you know? So like just fitness, wellness. So obviously I'll have to amend the name to entail that it's not like only powerlifting stuff. And it's going to be really guest based, hopefully. And I could get like a lot of guests on and like unveil different perspectives and do something like similar to what I'm doing right now with you, which is where, we're just shooting the shit. We're talking about stuff that we know. So it's like if I get like a central topic of like stuff that we could like just, people could come back for and like come back over and over again and like have an idea of like what I'm going to be talking about, what kind of stuff I'm going to be like giving information about. It's like, I feel like it would be better, and obviously that would work better for like a consistent audience, kind of, I don't want to say fan base, but like, listener base, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Raven has.
I was to say I don't have much to add. It's your show.
Yeah, no.
So.
If I wanted opposition, I probably would have gone like Tasso. Like maybe Sully will have something. Crazy.
Sully will agree with me where he wants you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only real way to go about things at the end of the day when it comes to podcasting. It's like if you just like don't do something that you want to do, it's gonna probably convey on camera. Which is why I hope that you guys enjoy these, because I'm enjoying the hell out of doing this, getting to sit down and talk to some of my great friends here, and getting to give maybe hopefully a little sneak peek into what I'm going to be doing on my own show with others. Maybe it be via Zoom, via in-house. Like I like having people over in the studio. I think you could agree with me. It's a lot of fun to just shoot the shit with somebody, hang out with them here. But, if I got to do Zoom, it's whatever. I'm like I said, I'm probably going to be super based upon interview guests and not make it like a whole like Brendan's powerlifting show or some shit like that. It would just be, like I'm getting new people on. We're getting like, voices of the powerlifting community, their fitness community type deal. So yeah, that's what I was hoping to do with it. I like that there's no opposition on your end. It's like,
I'm also not someone who's going to ever oppose anyone's ideas. Like,
Yeah.
unless it's a really bad idea, I will tell you. But if it's something that you care about and something that you think you can believe, I support you by it.
yeah, no. This question is also just kind of evolved from the first time I've asked it, or I asked it to Tassos in the first episode. Now it's more so like I kind of have an idea and I'm like honed in on it, and it's like, do you agree? Do you think this is gonna work?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's gonna do it for us here. I don't know if Raven wants to give any other shouts, any other.
Shout out my mom, shout out my girlfriend, shout out my dad, and shout out Oliver, on the gravel coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Good Morning Hockey coming out tomorrow. And then I guess we can say it now. I think we can. We have officially a new show coming out. It's going to be doing one episode for a week's time from today. About the NHL draft. And then they will be going on hiatus for 3 months until the hockey season returns, but it's going to be a Blackhawk recap show. I'm forgetting the exact name of it off my hand.
It's
terrible producer.
Hawks Hour.
The Hawks Hour, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to be meeting those guys for the first time. I know Tassos already knows one of them, but it's going to be a good time. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got an exciting week prepped, so this is only the beginning of it. Hopefully I got you guys off to a nice start, gave you guys a nice precursor to what's to come in the next week, because we got some exciting stuff on the ready.
Do I get to do the closing bit?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. I did it for Oliver.
I know. Well, I have Oliver always do it for me.
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, guys. On this side of my face, we are going to be subscribing to the Alithio channel. We are trying to get it to 100 subscribers right now. Just trying to get a good basis. Shout out our audio listeners. We appreciate you a lot. On this side of my face, you can check out either the last episode or whatever on the gravel episode that's recommended by the YouTube algorithm. Later, guys.
Later.